You don't give a fuck when you land or not, just let him go. You don't worry about it, he gonna be a shitty fight, but you gotta let punches go.
Last round.
You can't wait until they get, if you miss it, bang, go right back. And don't take 30 seconds to start another punch.
Alexander, I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody closer. I'm Sonny Liston, I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable.
Look at that! Look at that combination! And the two,
I kept telling him he had no punch, he couldn't hit, he's swinging like a sissy, he's missing, let me see your box. I hadn't started dancing yet. A tremendous sensational first round, and Cruz gets hurt. Cruz got stunned. Haye was stunned early in the round. Great first round. Incredible. Perhaps one of the best in middleweight history.
That black guy, he hits hard.
Fire! Welcome everybody to another episode of Hands of Fire Boxing Talk. I'm your host, writer and reporter for RealCombatMedia.com, G.Alé Dampier, and I'm joined by my fellow Ring IQ admins, Ibn Daoud,
Yo,
and
you already know, man. What's up?
Jay Wavy, Julius Fox in the building.
Hey, what's goody, y'all? What's goody? Hey, man. I just gotta say this. It made me laugh. Larry fighting Gary Foreman.
Oh God. Well, yeah. There's a lot of.
Say that. Go ahead.
Well, listen. This Hands of Fire. This is truly everybody getting the hands of fire right now. Everybody's getting roasted today, man. Because we got some critiquing to do of our sport. Because alone with the blowback that if you are a staunch boxing fan and you follow boxing groups and you go on boxing forums, I'm sure there's been a lot of conversation regarding Lomachenko, basically his place in boxing at the moment, and overall with the fan base that just seems to, I don't really know. It seems like they're confused, really. Like, he's really thrown a monkey wrench into how fans could really accept him. And clearly on top of that, Rigo did a staunch trolling job on Twitter this past did. And on top of it, which makes it even funnier, I mean, I'm going to be reading the tweets, but reading them, it's not that I'm having trouble reading. It's just the way he has to. He's formed out his words. It's strange.
That shit crazy. Like, I had to read it like 5 times before I could really understand what he's trying to say.
It's like I'm wondering. First of all, you don't speak English, so like, and then he's using like T-Mobile text style. Text style.
At least you know
like
he only
written.
had 140 characters he could use. He didn't type the whole words out. If he did, he wouldn't be able to get the message across.
Interesting. So we're going to be talking about Rigo and Dow's troll job, a good portion of it most likely. But we're going to try to also mention Leo Santa Cruz and Frampton too. That press conference was yesterday. And Haye, Bellew.
I don't care.
Haye, Bellew. Come on, man, it's boxing. Listen.
Put some respect on Carl Frampton, man. That he's a little bit underrated in my book.
Leo up again. Listen, let me just say my piece now. He beat Leo. He gonna beat Leo again because he's better than Leo.
Oh, of course. Well, that's my pick.
Or whatever. And guess what? I don't care now. And now I don't care. Now go ahead.
All right. Well, we're gonna talk about that. Haye, Bellew, which was announced. Yes, well, I'd say about over the weekend, but the press conference was today. A little heated exchange between the two. Typical Haye outing, really. And also, Brandon Rios will be facing Victor Ortiz in I guess, really just a California bout, really.
That shit been a long time coming.
And
Ortiz Ortiz and them some gangsters. He had some bull slide up on Rios.
That's right. That is correct. And we're going to be talking about that too.
He ride hard out Southern Cal. You better respect his name.
Hey, that's that Cholo style.
I mean, I want to know who the fuck y'all edged to win that fight. I kind of think Ortiz is a little craftier than Rios. So I kind of give him a slight edge in that shit.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. But also, I think, and then this is kind of like the last thing we're going to hit on, but it's definitely got to be talked about. We're going to just talk about how the reaction to Lomachenko and overall race baiting that we've been seeing all over the boxing community, really, regarding the acceptance of Lomachenko. So let's jump right into it. Rigo, who I don't know, apparently found his translator, his Twitter voice. A lot of these Cubans just seem to resort to Twitter to getting to go. He's what was it, November 28th, which was, I'm assuming that's Monday, where he had a string of tweets that we're gonna try to read through. With one is a video with Lomachenko. Of course, I had mentioned before that I feel like Guillermo Rigondeaux is the Billy Blanks of boxing. He's out there he's more famous now just to do super good training videos, and we don't ever see him actually doing shit. So he's almost going off the name. So and of course, and as I mentioned that the first tweet that I'm reading mentioning Lomachenko is a video of him doing mitt work. So it is true that Vasily Lomachenko and I are both champion. Between him and me, only one, I invicto is me. I'm ready for a catch weight. So I guess that's his first string. And
he said he wanted to fight.
It seems like he's found his interest. Another famous one, apparently in boxing, to be the Matrix, you have to be Caucasian. Don't remember anyone calling Floyd, Ward, or my friend Crawford the Matrix.
They used to call them the Matrix though. What you call them? Detroit.
Who, Keanu Reeves?
No, Detroit. The boxer. No. You said yes. Man, I just went to his fight. Him and his brother. Oh shit. Darrell.
Oh, you know what? Yeah. That's right. You're right. He did briefly go by that name. I remember that.
I just went to his last fight at AC. Him and his brother. I was just there. It was that Trump. It was that Trump. No bullshit. I was just there.
Well, here's also another one. When was the last time two gold medal face? Okay, that's okay. I'm seeing now. I was expecting him to make sense, but when was the last time two Olympic gold face each other as professional boxers? Let's see what else we got here. Damn, I knew there was another one, wasn't it? Nope, that's it. Apparently, but the main. Well, that's what I just mentioned. I said that, to be Caucasian. He said he doesn't remember anyone calling Floyd or Ward or my.
There was another one for Crawford. There was another one for Crawford.
That's what I'm saying. It's at the end. Listen, that's what he said. Or even.
Crawford could be the number one pound for pound.
Yeah, he said my friend Blood Crawford got all of the kicks to be number 1 pound for pound. But he said basically like Bob and them go push for it to be Lomachenko. And I
said, what has he asked the question in the tweet, like, what has Lomachenko done to be number 1 pound for pound?
Do like basically like Bud should be there, but like what Lomachenko do? And like he had tagged Bob Arum too with that shit though. He tagged Bob Arum and he tagged HBO. He was talking shit to all of us.
All right. Well, let's break it down. Let's break it down then, because I mean,
go ahead, Drew, you go first.
Look. I'm gonna just get right into this shit, okay? And y'all heard me say this on the page. Y'all heard me say this shit on my YouTube. That look, Rigo has scored 3 times. You add level of opponent. Well, look at Lomachenko's 2016 and look at your 2016, Rigo. In 2016, Lomachenko has gone up and beat Roman Rocky Martinez and Nicholas Walters in that succession. Both of those performances were dominating. Whereas you fought Jaza Dickens. So it's kind of self-explanatory why people are talking about Vasily Lomachenko in this spectrum. Now, y'all can get ahead.
I mean, you pretty much got it then.
Rigondeaux's situation is complex to me. I want to get this joint off my chest. It's crazy. Okay, I'm going to just start like this. You got Rigondeaux. He feels as though he got put on the shelf for doing the same thing that Lomachenko did. Now, me, I can see the difference because your style is not fan-friendly. Lomachenko's style is more so fan-friendly. But then the way that people treat Lomachenko, a technical boxer that was real good, you would be envious of it. The opportunities that he's afforded, it's not his fault. He ain't do none of this shit. It ain't his fault that he could lose his second fight and it's a title fight, and then he could get another title fight and 2 more fights. It's not his fault. You see what I'm saying? That's his promoter doing his job. Now, when you got the same promoter as him, and you got the same type history as him, amateur and all that shit, it's parallel. His is a little bit better, but it's parallel. You have 2 gold medals. You came in your 13th fight or your 14th fight, you beat a top 5 pound-for-pound fighter, and you got shelved for it. You see what I'm saying? So he's jealous of Lomachenko. And I'm probably the biggest Lomachenko.
But what shouldn't be?
I support Rigo. And I gave Carl Frampton shit for ducking him. I gave Scott Quick shit for ducking him. I gave Leo Santa Cruz shit for ducking him. But at the end of the day, you were holding 3 belts. That's 3 sets of top 10 fighters that you could choose from to fight. You ain't fight none of them. You fought John who was ranked number 11 in the WBA. So you ain't even fought the top 10 in your last fight, and you had 3 fights in 3 years. These things is self-explanatory. You know what I'm saying? Your team is not doing right by you, and that is not Vasil Lomachenko's fault. That's not for you to direct the blame at him that your people is fucking up, because your people couldn't even get you a passport when you were going to fight Charles Dickens. They couldn't even secure you a passport.
But Julius, don't forget that they had the same people. That's why he's jealous. Because I was the same. I was just right. You had me. Why didn't you let me do it? That's his envy. His envy is more so to HBO and fucking Bob Arum than it is to the guy.
See, but what doesn't make sense there is that you got house cleaning to do of your own. Like, and he's got incompetence to deal with. So I don't think if he's in no position at this point, because I've mentioned this before to you guys, that with his situation, and yeah, it's clearly out of jealousy. This is a jealousy ex-girlfriend. Oh, you with that bitch now? Oh, yeah? Well, take the, I'm going to be on to this. I'm doing, it's clearly a jealousy Twitter rant. Listen, this is the whole day he was doing this bullshit.
I want to ask y'all a question real fast. I want to ask both of y'all an honest question right here on this goddamn podcast. Would you two feel the same? If you...
No. Don't do that.
Wait.
No, don't do that. Don't, because I'm gonna answer your question. If it was me, and I'm trying to get paid out here, if it was me and I was trying to get paid out here, I'd have fought more than once a year for 3 years.
You goddamn right. You goddamn right.
I asked you that. I said if you was Rigondeaux and you was the same dude that was with Bob Arum, and you did the same thing Lomachenko did, and you got shelved for beating the pound number 5 dude, would you be jealous of Lomachenko?
Hey, but he's on though. He's not even with Bob Arum anymore.
Would you be jealous of him? I want y'all to tell me y'all wouldn't. I dare y'all.
Yeah, I would have said, "Fuck Bob, I'm getting up out of here as soon as I could get up."
And I'm making my money.
It ain't Lomachenko's fault that you getting shitted on. Look, jealousy is a trait that is exclusive to an individual. To ask me to put me in that situation and say, "Well, would you be jealous if the shoe was on the other foot?" I probably wouldn't be.
Type of way.
Hey, but you know what? But I can't.
Some type of way towards Bob, not towards Lomachenko.
That's what he's saying now. But he was
talking to Lomachenko though. It ain't just about Bob. He's talking to Lomachenko.
Julius, go look at them tweets. He tagged Bob Arum and he tagged HBO. That's what he mad at. He said it. And every time he did it, he said, "I want to fight Lomachenko." He ain't really.
Well, how genuine? Let me ask you. All right, now I'm gonna ask you a question. Ibby. When Lomachenko was still at 126 in 2015, when this fight was more of a possibility, why you wasn't feeling this froggy back then when the fight would have been easier to make?
Hey, because we're the champion at 122.
Wait. You gonna wait till Lomachenko is at 130 on route to 135, which he could be in 2017. You gonna wait till he at 130 to start feeling froggy? Come on, B. That shit don't look genuine, man. That shit don't look genuine.
But I won't say that he waited, because I remember when they was talking, and I remember them talking about 124 catch weights and all that. I remember a lot of conversation. My honest belief in this situation is not that Lomachenko is afraid, and it's not that Rigondeaux doesn't want to fight. My honest belief is that we probably won't get that fight because Bob Arum does not want that fight.
We know he don't want that fight.
But at the end of the day, I don't think that matters.
He don't want that fight.
I don't think that matters at the end of the day, though.
Well, you listen, I just want to make one thing clear, right? No matter how you feel about Rigondeaux style and all that, let's just look at the whole picture. Lomachenko will not ever be in a boring fight. When you look at the way he fights, it can't be boring. Something's going to happen, or somebody's going to get knocked out or something. with that being said, right, you got a pound-for-pound fighter right there, a top 10 pound-for-pound fighter. You got another guy who wants to be number 1 pound-for-pound. He got an opponent in front of him that could do that. If he beats Rigondeaux, even I will be like, damn, I'm ready to put Lomachenko number 1. Even me.
All right.
The same dude that told you he don't got 10 fights yet. So with that being said, why would you not want to get this dude in the ring as the promoter if you're Bob Arum when you're looking for number 1 pound for pound? Why don't you want to beat up Rigondeaux? He's smaller.
Well, there's a lot of. Wait. When we talking about Bob Arum in relation to Guillermo Rigondeaux, the thing about them, not even including Lomachenko, is that it's the opinion of many, including myself. I know you feel that way, Ibn. You probably feel that way too, George. That Bob Arum has a bone to pick with Guillermo Rigondeaux. He got a bone to pick with him.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't even think he wants to afford him the opportunity to have that fight. Not simply because he's a threat to Vasil, but because he don't like that guy.
Yeah, he
fucked up his money.
He don't want to give him money.
I
Yeah.
believe that too.
He
fucked up his money. When he beat Nonito Donaire, that threw a monkey wrench in the plans that he wasn't. Maybe he wasn't expecting it, but I know that he don't like him for it. I know he don't like him for it.
Yep.
Out of Bob Arum's own mouth,
Nonito's the next Pacquiao.
he was supposed to be.
Yep.
And Rigo fucked that up. Yep. So to make a long story short, Bob Arum is not going to afford Rigo any opportunities, especially not against Vasil Lomachenko when he basically said out of his own mouth that he's building him up. He's not gonna. He ain't gonna fuck it up twice.
Well, guys, let's talk about the real fire starter tweet though. That was, when he was insinuating that only to be the Matrix, I guess, and he made this quote. I guess that being called the nickname Matrix is a title of just being, better than anybody ever. Because I guess he took so much heat just for the nickname itself that, I guess you could only be Caucasian to be the Matrix, but Andre Ward and Floyd Mayweather and Crawford aren't. And clearly he went for the race bait card there. And a lot of that upset. I know it. When I read it, I got heated. Because
it's a cop-out.
Exactly. Because that's exactly when guys do that off the bat. When I read that, it's like, yo, that's a pussy-ass excuse to say, I suck at making moves. Because in a way, that's really what his career has been.
Rigo addressed the incompetence of his own team that when they were originally going to fight Dickens, they couldn't even get that guy a passport. Why don't you address the incompetence within your own house before you jump to conclusions about why people are crowning Vasil Lomachenko? Vasil Lomachenko has had a very good year. Compare that shit to your year, and it's pretty obvious.
I do agree. I would, in my perfect world, it wouldn't be pulled on. The thing is, I'm not going to lie and say sometimes I don't be understanding why they feel certain types of ways. I just feel as though that's not the only thing going on. Like I said, when you look at Lomachenko, what I honestly just believe is not only fans, but some fighters, half of them probably, they get jealous of people when they get in certain positions and they get treated a certain type of way because they like, damn, you know what I mean? Look what y'all doing for him, but you wouldn't do this for me, but not only me, but other people.
Hey, but you know what? But
very fortunate. He's a very fortunate fighter, man. Very. Like, listen, bro. You came in the game. You had one fight.
Was he fortunate when Salido was punching him in the dick? I gotta ask a question, Ibn. I gotta ask a question. Was he fortunate when Salido was punching him in the dick and the ref wasn't doing nothing about it? Was he fortunate then? It's like it's a two-way street. And I see that Rigondeaux and a lot of guys are copping out because they don't want to address their own incompetence and their own bad business.
And on top of that, if I can, hold on, let me just add to that, because with the jealousy that you're talking about, that's been true regardless what race that person was. People were jealous of Floyd on the come up at certain points in time.
Yeah.
He was, and Ibn, just wait, hold on. Cause and listen, hold on. Let me wait. Just wait a minute. Let me get to the point. Hold on. Listen.
Keith Thurman and wasn't bitching that the WBA made him a super. Well, what do you want him to do? He defended the title enough times that he can be the super champion.
No.
But Thurman was sitting there.
Well, wait, hold on, guys, because what I was really trying to get, I'm trying to, even not even to that extent, if I'll minimize it, just down to the amateur system. And Ibn, you know this, as many shows as we've been to, not together, but just on our own. You know there's that polished kid with the fresh trunks, customized shorts and all that shit, fresh headgear, sponsored like a motherfucker, right?
Right.
There's people get that treatment regardless who the fuck they are. It's just if someone feels invested and someone sees something potentially in you early, people are always going to try to put money in a product that they see is going to grow and profit them, just off the alone though. It's not just
the money. You think it's just about him getting bigger money than them, man. It's not that. Listen, he got a title shot in his second fight. He lost. No matter what we want to talk about it.
Hey, but that's the deal he worked out. That's the deal he already worked out.
Wait, but listen, hold on. Just hear me out. Not only that, though, you lost that. In 2 more fights, you get another chance.
Well, Jesse Vargas. Wait. No. I see where you're going, but let me rebuttal that. We just saw Jesse Vargas go through that with Saddam Ali. You fought Tim Bradley for the title. You lost. They turned around. They gave you another title shot.
Shit, Roberto Guerrero. How the fuck does he keep getting title shots?
Yeah, he got another title. Roberto Guerrero. He lost that fight with Keith. That was a title fight for the WBA title. He loses that fight. He goes balls to the wall with Aaron Martinez. Gets another title shot with the WBC with Danny Garcia.
So it's
not exclusive. It's not exclusive
exactly
to race. So to say that Lomachenko is fortunate or somehow that was motivated by race.
He's on pound. Listen, bro, he on pound for pound without 10 fights and he took an L. And he got 2 stretch because he got 2 more title shots. Fighters gonna get jealous of that. Y'all guys, just hear what I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm mad at it. I like Vasil Lomachenko. Y'all know that. Y'all talk to me every day personally. What I'm saying is the fighters, they get mad at that shit. They jealous of it. And whether we really want to accept it or not, we're not the ones that put blood, sweat, and tears in boxing since we was 9 years old.
Hey, man, but there's always going to be somebody that get the favorable positions or it's just certain ways.
Yeah, I mean, look, what we're determining here is how we feel if whether or not there was merit to Rigondeaux's statement that, you can't be called the Matrix unless you're Caucasian. But we see across the board that there are many people that are afforded opportunities of every kind of race, denomination. They are afforded opportunities that they may or may not deserve. Robert Guerrero versus Danny Garcia should not have been a title fight.
Hell,
you should not have gotten another shot at the WBO title after you done lost to the champ.
Yeah.
And he's not a white guy. Neither one of them is a white guy.
Top rank privileges. But listen, he not. But listen, let's not act like we don't understand how the spectrum works. If Jesse wins, that's a Mexican champion. That's how it works. It works a certain type of way. You got that, and then you got an African American right behind it, and that's the way it goes. And that's how they be feeling. And this is what happened. This is what they talk about. This is what promoters and trainers and people that been in the game. This is what they tell you. They tell you to shit my gym all the time. See what I'm saying? So I'll be like, my thing when I hear it, it'd be like, man, I hate that that's going to get played on right now. I really don't want to go through that because it's going to make it where as though I can't even talk to sport logically with dudes because dudes going to be going off the deep end on both sides. They're going to be going up the deep end on my side.
Look. This is the thing. There's some people that's rooting for fighters they like, and they're using the fighting as the criteria to determine whether or not they're going to be a fan of a fighter. Then you got other guys that all they looking at is skin tone, man. That's all they looking at, okay? Because at the end of the day, Vasil Lomachenko doesn't offer a person a hell of a lot to complain about, yet people are complaining. Why are people complaining?
Well, let's talk.
Dante Boxing Nation tried to set him up to look crazy.
Yeah, that's right. Well,
I'm a Lomachenko fan.
Well, let's talk about it, guys, because I said this was going to be toward the end, but it kind of just pairs up perfectly how we're talking about this situation. So let's just talk about it now, and we'll get to the upcoming fights last.
Mm-hmm.
This morning, I got into a few heated debates over one simple post that kind of stemmed from this Guillermo Rigondeaux idea that he put out there, where there was well, actually, this one was a bit more vague. They had Conor McGregor and Vasily Lomachenko next to each other, and then Floyd Mayweather at the bottom. Obviously, with the comparison of, well, how come these guys get so much love and this guy gets so much hate for doing the same thing? And it's funny because I called someone out. I'm like, well, what exactly are you trying to get at here? You know, why is this race baiting shit out there? Oh, I didn't say anything about race. Get the fuck out of here. Don't hide behind some stupid fucking meme to say that shit. See, and of course he knows what he knows what he means, but and then to follow it, a number of people saying, oh, Ben Roethlisberger raped this girl and he gets off, and you know, it's just, it irritates me because it's like, here we have a fighter that does basically, even we talk, he fights like a black dude, Lomachenko.
Okay.
His whole swag really is like a black dude.
This is something that I got to say. This is Nicolino Loce was not a black dude, correct?
No.
He's Italian. He's an Italian that lived in Argentina. That's why. He's like Willie Pepper.
But my point is this. People make a lot of
the history of the world.
People make tenuous connections. And what I see about Vasily Lomachenko and the Eastern European scene is that they're coming up as a whole. You got your Sergey Kovalev, you got your fucking Gennady Golovkin, and you got your Vasily Lomachenko. You got Troyanovsky. You got
Lomachenko. They don't box the same, bro. Lomachenko.
They don't box the same. No.
Watch Boy Jones.
They don't box the same. But what I see is they on the come up as far as that region. They on the come up. They doing okay across the board. They got a title with 140. They got a title with Lomachenko. They had a title with Sergey, and they got a title with with titles with Gennady Golovkin. As a whole, that region.
Ain't Usyk one of them too?
Yeah.
I think so.
You're right.
I think so.
They got more of them. They just on their way.
They on their way.
And Eastern European too, ain't he?
Quietly.
Yeah, he rushed. Exactly. You're getting to my point. That region, you know, maybe they just on the come up right now, but there's a lot of resistance when it comes to that, and a lot of people get upset about that because it changes the narrative of the conversations that we like to have about the sport. We like to talk about the styles. We like to talk about who's going to win and why, but we don't want to get into a fucking conversation because a motherfucker mad that a white guy got a belt. I don't want to have that conversation. I don't want to have that conversation. That shit don't. If a white guy got a belt, if a black guy got a belt, if a Mexican guy got a belt, that shit don't bother me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm looking at their styles. I want to see who's the best fighter, not who's from over here, who's from over there. I'm not into that tribalism shit. But a lot of guys is. And that's what we're seeing when it comes to Vasily Lomachenko, that a lot of guys can't handle, that maybe things are changing a little bit, at least right now, when it comes to this particular fighter. Because, you know, he's not what we're accustomed to seeing.
Okay, you know what I see? I see that to a degree. I also see that a lot of guys I know, especially dudes that I know that's involved in boxing, they like him. Even on our page, a lot of guys, they like him. Now, I see people that's like, I'm not ready to call him the best until he do a little bit more work, and I understand it.
And I don't think anyone's asking them to.
Right, and I'm one of them people that, like, I kind of agree with that. But my thing is, I like him. I like everything that he doing there. There's nothing about him that I don't like as a boxer. So, you know, I'm going to root for him. You know what I'm saying? Unless then he did something that I feel as though I don't want to root for him no more. Kovalev's the only one that did that to me. You know what I'm saying? And that's me personally. I ain't take that John with his son with the picture with the monkey. I ain't take that too cool. You see?
And that was obvious what he was doing. They tried to explain the shit away, but it was obvious what he was doing.
Yeah, but Lomachenko ain't did nothing to me, and I like the way he boxed. I like Victor Postol. I like the way he boxed. I like Usyk. I like the way he boxed. Kovalev and GGG, they cool. That's not my cup of tea. You see what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? But you could turn on Willie Pepper, you could turn on Nicolino Loce. It ain't about the color. It's the flavor of boxing.
Well, let me.
I can enjoy a man that like to slip out of a way of a punch. I like that.
Yeah, I like. Well, I can appreciate that shit very much. I like it.
But that's what I'm trying to get at, because this is what makes it so intriguing. Because that's why I said he essentially fights like a slick American black fighter. Let's just be real. So, and why I think this, I put the question out there that, at least for me, it seems like this is truly what's distorted, like, or at least what's hurting boxing, is because here you would think with that aspect, you have a white European fighter that, let's be honest, the anti-slick American fighter usually looks for. That's usually their fan, right? So you have that, and on top of it, he fights like an American. So you would think that that's a smorgasbord for an American boxing fan.
Everybody to like him.
Everybody to like him. But here we are debating his privilege and race baiting and race baiting and all that shit.
You're absolutely right, Georgie. That's what some people choose to debate. I don't look at the privilege. I look at the fact that at the end of the day, this guy was getting punched in the dick, correct? And they ain't do nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how much privilege I could say that the boy got when he's getting punched in the dick in the middle of a fight, and ain't nobody doing nothing about it.
Dude, the only thing I gotta say about that fight, right? He did get punched in the nuts a lot and stuff like that. But what you gotta realize is, you in a pro fight is different from the amateurs. And what y'all feel to realize, the refs they know when to do that shit. They know when to do it. They can listen. I know how to step on an angle and punch you in the nuts so he can't see when he's standing in a certain spot.
That's right. And
you know what I'm saying? I know how to do that shit.
And
so you gotta understand, that's something you gotta be prepared for.
And
you gotta be like, yo.
Yeah. So, and what's the usual rule or not the rule, but the unspoken rule when shit like that's going on with you? When you're a seasoned fighter, if someone's punching you in the nuts constantly and the ref ain't doing it,
you got to do.
You goddamn right.
Listen, give it back. It's going down.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Punch him in the nuts right back. You club, uppercut the shit out of his nuts.
Understand that. Like, yo, listen, that's the shit we don't say on the big. That's the shit. That's why they say if you don't box, you don't know. But like, yo, listen, get that shit back because it's going down. Like, that's what it is. Yo, listen, protect yourself at all times, man. Or all levels.
Okay.
So
you got all types of people.
All right. Well, let me.
Yo, listen, you were running to some grimy niggas in the gym, bro.
That's right.
You run to a dirty nigga in the gym. He'll do something dirty to you. When I say nigga, I ain't talking about black person. It could be a dirty Mexican too. He'll get you.
Anybody.
He'll get you.
Anybody.
Ain't no game, bro. White ball, get you.
Yeah.
Ain't about nothing. Irish ball.
See, and
dirty punches, headbutts, all that. They got work for you in there. You know what I mean? So my thing with Lomachenko was like, listen, welcome to the pros, baby.
And
put your hard hat on. You be all right.
And I'm just
fight him again and beat him up. That's all.
That's right.
It ain't about nothing.
Yeah. And just to wrap things up with this, my closing thoughts on this saga in particular, or at least not just the issue of how Lomachenko is received through the boxing world it's like we sabotage ourselves. This shit right here that we're doing is only fucking up the star that he could become to generate casual fans. Because believe me, man, this guy will create a following. Once casual fans see him, they will flock. And I can listen. Ibn, you think I'm going overboard a little bit by this?
What?
By saying that listen, I think listen.
No, I mean he has that potential. He has that potential.
No, you ain't going overboard. No.
He has that potential because of how he fight. You absolutely right that if they see him fight, they will gravitate towards him because he's got something that everybody likes. You know what I'm saying? He's got something that the diehards like. He's got something that the casuals like.
Listen, not because I love. He was on somebody undercard. It was a big fight it was either a GGG fight or it was a Pacquiao fight or something. He was on somebody undercard. And Bulls came back to my job like, yo, did you see that Russian dude? Because they know I'm in the boxing. So they just came to my job and they was just talking about Lomachenko. Like, they didn't even know his fucking name. But they were talking about him, and they was like, yo, he was just like all around that dude. This shit was like some Mayweather shit.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I think that was the Maypac undercard. Wasn't that the Maypac undercard?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It was.
That was the Maypac undercard.
Yep.
Yeah, they was
he had the fucking blue and yellow trunks.
Yep.
Yeah, look, they was like, yo, listen, no lie. The boy was like, yo, this dude, he was like fucking Mayweather, but he was throwing all these punches and shit. It was fucking crazy. He was like, what, this side? Then he jumped to the other side. It's like, oh shit. Like, and
Yeah.
I was like, yo.
So
when I heard that, I was like, oh shit. Like, he appealed to casuals. Like, I
Yeah.
remember thinking that shit. And that was like 2 years ago or some shit.
yeah.
I'll never forget it.
That's
It
right.
messed me up.
So
I was
that's
like, yo, yeah, he could fight.
so that's what my to close this. Everybody, listen. Just shut the fuck up, all right? Just stop complaining. I don't care what side you're on. Like, oh well, he doesn't get this. Da 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 da. Shut up, all right? Because at the end of the day, whatever he got worked out, it was because of what he demanded that. If you like Floyd for dictating all the fights and everything that he does, the moves that he makes, then why wouldn't you respect a power move where you negotiated a damn title fight in your second one?
Yeah.
So if we can't sum up whatever the hell another fan base is saying about another fighter, and that's stopping us to enjoy what we got, get over it. So what? Some people are going to go overboard. Some are going to say a little bit of shit. But at the end of the day, back this dude. Give him the support. So, because he's one of those few guys that you can at least say, you can like, wow, the sport can grow with this guy.
You want to know something about it? And one thing about it is you got to be able to appreciate when a superstar is around. A superstar affords a lot of opportunities for a lot of guys, a lot of fighters, and it allows a lot of money to be generated. We don't really have a superstar in boxing right now. And,
No, we do not. You absolutely
really does. He really does have what it takes to become a superstar. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when Floyd was just now with his heyday and Manny, that afforded a lot of opportunities for a lot of fighters and a lot of people. Not just them two. You got to realize the kind of cake that Bradley made out there and Juan Marquez made out there.
Oh yeah, they were.
Like, and Chino got crazy bread.
These guys do not get this money without this Floyd and Manny running around.
That's
Seriously.
right. That's
They
right.
just wouldn't have it. So at the end of the day, like, appreciate when you see a superstar coming, because the superstar going to get it popped. That's what we need.
Hey, you said it right. Now, let's go into some of these fights that are coming up. We're speaking of Rigondeaux and possible opponents that he at least can face in his time of inactivity. That's another discussion. But I called this fight originally when it first had happened the Rigo Duck Bowl Championship, the Rigo Duck Championship, which was between Carl Frampton and Leo Santa.
Scott Quigg, Leo, all them.
Yeah,
Duck Bowl,
Leo.
sponsored by Allstate Insurance. Sponsored by Allstate Insurance.
And Skybox.
and
Don't forget,
both-
Skybox is sponsoring that shit. Though.
Both are in
Skybox and
both are in very good hands. So Leo Santa Cruz, Carl Frampton had their press conference for their January 28th bout, which is actually going to be in the MGM Grand. It's a nice little step up. I think that's the first time for both of these fighters. So that's going to be taking place relatively sooner than the next few fights. Anything stand out in particular for you guys to make you change your idea of maybe who's going to win? I still think Carl Frampton's probably going to pull this one out.
I'm going with Carl. I think he's going to win a more decisive victory. It won't be as close as the last fight was. In that fight, I originally thought that Leo was going to take the fight, but Carl surprised me, and he made me a believer in that fight. So I got Carl winning a more decisive fight than he did the first time.
What about you, Ben?
Listen, people gonna get mad at me, but I bet you somebody was gonna box Leo's ears off.
Yeah.
And Frampton got to his ass first.
Hey, listen.
I don't even care
I don't.
fight, but Frampton gonna box his ears off again.
And you know what?
It ain't gonna be about that.
And I don't think you were really just the only one. I think deep down a lot of boxing heads knew this. I honestly knew this too. I knew with Santa Cruz just being an overwhelming volume puncher, that's really just a cover-up for other skills that he already lacks. And it was just a matter of time until he's in there so unskilled enough.
I like somebody gonna get a window. It's over. That's why they ain't fight Rigondeaux. It's like this joint is the Duck Bowl, and like I can't really get into it. So it's just like what I'm gonna say is I got Frampton. I got
Just to be nice.
The last time I told everybody that.
Just to be nice. And next on the calendar, this was announced yesterday. And this is a pretty personal beef, personal battle here is Brandon Rios versus Victor Ortiz, lined up for February 4th. Supposed to take place in California. They're still looking for a venue.
They're making a big fucking turnout for that fight. A lot of people.
This looks like it's looking like it's going to be a StubHub fight. The way it sounds like a StubHub fight here.
Yeah.
And it's.
But I want to know who y'all got. I kind of feel, and I fucking hate Victor Ortiz. I got to put that. I really fucking hate that. Like, he is a massive douchebag. but me being a gambling man, I kind of think skill-wise he gets the edge, and I think he may beat Brandon Rios, which is fucked up because I actually like Brandon Rios as a person more than Victor.
Yep.
Victor Ortiz is fucking. That guy's fucking awful, dog.
I like Brandon Rios more. Listen, I like Brandon Rios more, but Victor Ortiz is a better fighter.
Yeah, it's a damn shit. But the only thing that makes
it's like I don't even want to give him the edge, but it's like, well, I mean, if I'm gonna be objective,
you don't deserve the edge.
Right back from the bird, okay.
You don't deserve the edge.
He's gonna bet back on Rios.
He is. You know what I'm saying? Like, Bradley became a fireman with Rios, so I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, he put on a fireman hat with Rios, so it's like, I don't know what Rios really got left. I think Victor going to win that fight.
Fireman on Rios. You can get
Oh,
he became a fireman with Brandon, so it is what it is.
It's a goddamn shame.
Man. Like, no, I don't want to make it sound too bad. Like, shout out to Brandon. Like Brandon, but like, no, because like I go with skill, and like I'm not gonna go against my formula.
Yeah,
I want you to beat him up though. I hope you can beat him up though. Like if you, I hope you
prove me wrong.
I hope you. If you finish, listen. I would be happy for my prediction to just be wrong as shit, and that'd be with me.
See, but
that's one of those. That's one of those where I'm gonna go against myself, and I'm gonna root for the guy that I think is gonna lose.
Just so I can be happy at the end.
Against myself.
I'm gonna be happy at the end of the day anyway.
I legitimately mean what I just said. I mean that shit. Like I ain't even bullshit.
See, and you know what's funny? I guess I'll go against the grain with you guys is because even though I can still concede that Victor is the better boxer, I just can't count on his durability in a fight like this. And
True.
And one thing's for certain, Brandon could always take an ass whipping. It may take some it may take some chipping. You might need to get your picker out, and chisel and all that shit, but I mean, it's going to take some work, and I don't know if he's going to go enough through that windmill of Brandon Rios long enough that he won't get caught himself with some shit.
Well, that is true. I mean, didn't they throw a fucking 9X Yellow Pages book at Victor Ortiz after the Berto fight? They threw a fucking Yellow Pages at this guy after the fight.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're right. Yeah.
They threw a fucking Yellow Pages at this guy after the fight. They threw. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying like Victor Ortiz ain't got no heart, man. And I hate to say that. That's a very linear thing to say, but you can't bank on his heart.
That's what I'm saying.
So it's a variable, but if in that variable, well, I'm just gonna stay on the side of it.
You know them two got a history. Like Ortiz made some people come at him with some guns and all that. Like he came at Rios with guns and all that. Like Ortiz had some gangsters. I guess he had some Southern Cal gangsters.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, because he got that.
You never know. This might be a different fight for both of them because this is personal. This ain't business.
This one of them Johns. This just goes like what's the guy that was from Johnny Tapia town when he fought Johnny Tapia when I was young?
Oh yeah. Oh fuck. I forgot his name.
Man. Yo, man. I hate this being caught like this because, like, all due respect, but the dude, he was from Tapia, so it was like a personal fight.
Yeah, they were both from Albuquerque. Like, I remember.
It was more going on than just what all the boxing was seeing, and that's what's going on right here. So when you put that in it, Rios, more power to you, bro. Like,
man, go get him, Rios. Go get him.
Then
go fucking get him. I'm gonna hashtag that shit on Twitter. Go get him, Brandon.
Hey.
Fuck it.
Hey,
get his ass.
Hey, so look, I got my first pick. That's Brandon. I'm picking Brandon to win that fight. So
Fuck, man, I don't want to pick nobody, man.
Hey,
I'm just gonna watch that shit.
yeah, listen, I got nothing. I got nothing invested in it.
My pick. I ain't gonna lie. I still made my pick because I'm not gonna go against my equation. I'm sorry.
I just don't want Victor to win, man. You don't understand? I don't want him to win.
I don't want him to.
I don't want him and his fucked up fade to win.
And I don't think he will.
I don't want him to.
I don't think he will. I don't think he'll. I don't think he has the durability or the heart to last decent. See, a decent amount of the fight. Yeah, he is a southpaw.
Any southpaw?
He is.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, but didn't fucking Tim Bradley just stop Brandon in his last fight? Tim Bradley?
Yes.
Did he stop him?
Yes.
He stopped him with a body shot, didn't he?
That's right.
Stopped him with a body. Tim Bradley don't hit hard. I mean, I don't mean it like that, but I mean in retrospect with other guys, Tim Bradley don't hit hard. He stopped him.
Julius.
So, he's a fireman, man. You're a fireman.
He's a fireman. What are you talking about? What do you mean he don't hit hard? He's a fucking fireman.
FDNY, man. He's a fireman. Fuck it, you, man.
All right, and the last fight, the last little fight we're going to talk about is there was another press conference today for this fight. David Haye taking on
that shit show.
cruiserweight Bellew.
I got
March 4th.
I got 3 letters.
March 4th
I got 3 letters.
in London. I'm assuming will be in OT. What was that?
You know how I feel about that fight? LGC.
LGC.
Let's go, champ.
Let's go, champ.
Let's go, champ.
Thank you for that.
About David Haye.
Man, shout out to Shannon Briggs, man. Shout out to Shannon motherfucking Briggs.
He don't get no respect on Bring IQ page. Listen,
No, we don't.
my homies domestic, Glenn, Mike Mary, y'all my homie, y'all know that. Come on now. No, listen, y'all know that. Listen, I even let up off Kell Brook and before Golovkin. But this guy, David Haye, let's go, champ.
I can't with that guy, man.
Dog.
What happened to the aspirations of obtaining a heavyweight title? There is a vacant heavyweight title that you could be fighting for. You turned bitch and decided to fight Tony Bellew when Let's Go Champ was at the table. It's self-explanatory. That shit cannot be condoned, can't be defended.
You gave Let's Go Champ your word. You gave him your word. You said, fight on my undercard, but I'm going to give you a rumble. Let's Go Champ performed. He did what he had to do. Everybody said he wasn't fighting nobody. Y'all gave him a instance where he could earn his right. He earned his right. You back out. Let's go, champ. I want to hear it.
Let's go, champ.
And there's no.
Let's go.
It shouldn't be a surprise for David Haye if he ever goes on to realize why isn't he as beloved as an Anthony Joshua or a fucking Jesus Christ.
Joe Calzaghe, Lennox Lewis.
Lennox was a warrior.
Or not even.
Warrior.
I'm talking even just Tyson Fury.
So
Because it's
what? He stepped up to relax.
yeah, and here's the thing, David.
Tyson Fury is another show entirely because that guy don't get the credit he deserved. I know it wasn't the kind of fight that everybody likes to watch, but he ended that reign, and he really didn't get enough credit for that shit.
And
He
David
really
Haye,
didn't.
David Haye will have to understand that he just seems like, in all honesty, an opportunist, really, in this division.
That's what he's doing.
That's really all
That's
it's
what
really
he's
been.
doing.
All he's been. It's the opportunities he's had to make an even close to slightly competitive fight. Like shit, like you said, Julian, you couldn't take on Shannon Briggs. Like
Shannon
dude,
Briggs,
like you want to
He
sell.
pulled out on Tyson Fury twice.
And he's
pulled out on that guy.
He's trying to sell.
Right.
He's trying to sell the fact that Tony Bellew called me out. You saw how he was doing. Shit, Shannon Briggs was coming damn near to your crib with Cruz.
Shannon Briggs
Every
touched
day he was
curls,
finding
man.
there.
Shannon Briggs walked up on you and touched your curls, and you ain't punch him in the face.
No,
Let me ask. How come when Tony Bellew get in your face, you could throw that left, but when Shannon Briggs came right up on you and touched your curls, you ain't do shit? So it's pretty obvious to me why he don't want to have that fight. Pretty obvious. Let's go, champ.
The champ. I'm the champ.
It's the champ father, man.
It's the
champ father.
Look at him, scared. He's scared.
No, he's scared. He's scared of me. Let's go, champ.
Let's go, champ.
That's all it is, man. That's all it is, man.
And it's a shame, man. It's a goddamn
There
shame.
is a fight that was announced today I talked about it with Georgie. Georgie, you know what fight I'm talking about, right?
Refresh my memory.
Who's everybody's favorite Cuban at 154?
Oh yeah. Oh, you mean Sarah
You
Lee?
just was waiting to get.
Sarah Lee.
Y'all was waiting to get him.
Listen,
yeah,
man. Listen, he's listen. This you want to talk about ranting Cuban Twitter or ranting Twitter Cuban fighter. This guy was going on and on about being ducked by Triple G over Dominic Wade. Oh, you took Dominic Wade? Oh, what a tough fight. You're gonna fight Dominic Wade, but you couldn't fight me. And then when it came to the opportunity to actually get a scrap going, oh wait a minute. I got title defense record to break, and I just gotta I gotta find which one it is.
Look at who they dug out of 2009. They dug.
Yeah, man. Like what the fuck? I haven't. Didn't he fight? Didn't he get knocked out by Amir Khan?
You took what, Yuri Foreman?
Yeah.
Shit, man. I mean, I know he only got like 2 professional losses.
Yo, Khan ain't no bum, yo.
No, listen. I'm not saying he ain't no bum, but damn, he got blown out. I remember that fight. He just walked through.
Your ass, though. Listen, if
Yeah, I mean, it depends.
You got knock Khan out.
Khan don't get enough credit. Khan don't get enough credit skill-wise. Every time Khan gets brought up, the only thing you want to hear about is his chin. But the boy can fight. He can fight. He can't take a punch too good, but he can fight.
I'm gonna ask y'all something. Who outboxed Khan?
Shit.
I know. There you go.
See, but you know what? But you know what though? But you listen. But you know what though? The fact that usually you would take the fact that if it's a better skilled boxer, that means he's the better fighter, which means he's being beaten by lesser competition. So that really doesn't matter. Yeah.
He can't go to people chitty. I don't even like calling people chitty, but he chitty. Like he chitty,
man. Like I mean, ain't no way to look. Chris Algieri staggered you. Denny Garcia took you out in 4 rounds. You didn't make it past the first round with Bradis Prescott. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't. Bradis Prescott. You know, it is what it is. But you know, I'm just. See, this is why I want to talk about this Lara shit, because y'all know Lara's my favorite guy. Y'all know that. I love Lara so much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he gives me so much. He gives me so much material. This guy. You know what I'm saying? You can't shut the fuck up. I knew 2 weeks ago when he was talking shit about Triple G that he had a fight coming up. I knew it'd be against some who the fuck. Thankfully, at least we recognize Yuri Foreman's name. You know, so this is just another example to me, at least, of how full of shit Lara is. This is Canelo versus Beefy Smith. Yeah,
basically,
more or less. And but at least Beefy had a fucking title.
But to an extent, like we were talking about earlier, Julius, that was more or less of a right picking. It's like, well, gee, what's the less difficult way I can grab a belt at 154? Oh, there's one.
Exactly.
And here in this, here in this,
y'all said Beefy was a cherry.
Yeah.
I mean, Beefy. Look at who was on the table.
In a way.
Look at who was on the table. You had David Lemieux
in
on
a way.
The table. There were talks about going after
you
Billy
can't stop looking like this, mate.
Hey,
but
look.
He was a cherry.
Be real though. Be real. All right, be real though. If you're his manager, you meaning to tell me you're more willing to take Jermell Charlo over Beefy Smith? Get the fuck out of here. Hell fucking no. Hell fucking no.
Like, dog, Beefy, and with respect to Beefy, because this is the thing. You know, a lot of motherfuckers talk about these fighters in a certain context, but I got respect for Beefy. Beefy is not a bad fighter, but in that instance, Beefy was a cherry, because look at who else was on the table.
It's real.
You got Triple G, David Lemieux, and Beefy. So you know what I mean? Like, it's not hard to see what decision-making process went into choosing Beefy. You know what I'm saying?
Like it's not, even if you're not, if you're trying to like be as the least callous as you possibly can. Like, if I try to be as nice as I can, I'm still saying that's the easier option if I want a title at 154. And just like with Laura in this instance, he needed to defend his belt at the WBA. So he literally himself went on the brink and picked the number 10 challenger. Just at the limit. Just on the limit.
I don't know. We're all excited in my house about seeing Lara fight Yuri Foreman. We've been waiting for that fight.
But look, though, I ain't gonna lie, though. Well, who was available, though, y'all?
Oh, you want some help? You want some help? Okay. I'll read some names. Funny enough,
if you gonna tweet about Gennady Golovkin every other day,
funny enough,
if you gonna tweet about that man every other day, then you need to fight one of his mandatories so he can't get away from you. Don't fight Yuri Foreman and tweet about Gennady Golovkin the next day or the next week.
Ward did fight Kovalev mandatory. He beat him. He did.
Exactly. And that's how most of us knew Ward ain't playing games. He won that fight.
Real. He was for real.
Ward ain't playing games. He not telling us he want to fight Sergey and fighting some. Who the fuck? He taking care of business to make sure the fight happens. So if Lara wants Triple G, Triple G got 3 backs. That's 3 mandatory.
In fact, the rest of them ducked him, and then he got stuck with Brad. That's real rap.
Well, yeah,
that was like the 4th or 5th option. Virgil was like, yo, that was like the 4th or 5th option. Yo, we trying to fight that.
That's the other element. That's the other element of Alexander Brand that people don't talk about. That it's not like Brand was the first choice. The same way that Bundu wasn't the first choice for Errol Spence. So people act like he was.
No, he wasn't. No, he ain't want to fight Bundu. Bundu stepped up.
Exactly.
Bundu didn't care. Bundu was the one with him some heart. Look,
exactly.
Look, Brand and Bundu, they like similar in style. They both like weird fighters.
Yeah, you're right.
Bundu is the fucking 147 Isaac Chilemba.
Yeah, they do look alike. They look alike too.
But look though, Brand fight the same type of way though. He fight like Bundu. Like they don't do the same moves, but they do the same weird, like unorthodox, crazy stuff. Them type of fighters don't get nobody.
They got awkward styles. They got awkward styles. They're a little better than they give it credit for.
Bundu was like 39-0 when Thurman beat him. So you gotta respect him. So what? If it was in Italy, he still beat 39 Italy people. Like you can't just disregard him. You gotta give him a chance in the United States.
Well, I mean,
he got a chance and he lost.
Italy people are usually called Italians. So
come on, man.
That's what I'm just saying. Anyway,
I don't care about that right now. I'm a teacher. I'm well educated. I don't care right now.
That's all good. I'm good. I'm just I'm fucking with you.
Like I said, look. I'm just saying. Let's not lose focus here, because I'm just saying that if Lara really wanted that fight, Triple G has 3 belts. Those are 3 mandatories that you could choose from to secure that fight with that man. It don't make sense to me for you to be throwing tweets at this guy when you gonna fight Yuri Foreman. You know what I'm saying?
What about his 154 belt?
What about it? Your manager said you the kind of fighter that don't need preparation to go up to 160 and have that fight. That's what your manager said, though. He said that. And you're the one that's tweeting Triple G by 2 weeks before you announce that you're going to fight Yuri fucking Foreman, fam. Like, really? This is what you giving the fans?
And on top of that...
Isn't this thing... It's in Reading, Pennsylvania or some shit like that.
And on top of that, he only tweets this bullshit when it's in the news that Golovkin is in the talk with somebody. Only is when he's in the talks with somebody is you start hearing shit from Laura.
Or he only tweets this bullshit right before he's about to fight somebody that isn't Triple G. So, I mean, it's a pattern with this fucking guy. Like, I'm going to have a fight soon, so let me start talking shit to Triple G. I'm gonna have a fight.
I ain't going to say that ain't true, because it do seem true. But look, though, y'all think if DDG was willing to fight him, y'all don't think he'd do it? Y'all don't think Lara would do it? He got to do it.
I don't think he want to fight him. I'm going to keep it a buck. I don't think he want to fight him, but I would love to see the fight. But I don't think Lara want to fight him. I think Lara would get fucking 4-way fucked by Triple G if they did have a fight. That's how I feel.
And that's the exact reason why I don't care to watch this fight. I don't think this is really as big of a fight that people try to make it out to be, because I don't think he's the one. He's not the one to beat him. If that's what people are looking for, it ain't him.
I want people to have to swallow that fucking pill after talking all that shit. So make the fucking fight. Fuck that.
I hear.
Right?
I
hear
hear
about how fucking Lara is some kind of master fucking boxer. My ass, okay? My ass. I want to see it.
All right.
I want to see the fight.
All right.
I want to see it too.
So we're gonna wrap.
I don't know what's going on.
We're gonna wrap shit up here with that. We're gonna close things off. With that being said, man, that was a good little session there. I had a good time, man. Huge shout out.
Lara makes for the most interesting conversations.
Always for you, man. I know that's your favorite fighter, man. That's your dude.
My favorite fucking guy,
Your favorite
man.
guy. So I want to give a huge.
I'm gonna go investigate to see what options he had, man. I gotta look at.
Yo, look at the list. I'm telling you right now, especially with the window that he had of basically the time that he really wasn't negotiating a fight. There was a time off from that Martirosian. What was that, back in July? Up till now to announce a fight.
Listen, Canelo ain't gonna fight him no more. Boo don't want to fight him. The Charlos ain't gonna fight him because they like his little brothers. J-Rock about to fight Charlo. Heard this sport.
Well, gee, that's a lot of damn friendships you got in the goddamn division you're fighting at. So
I'm not saying, but he got two friendships. The Charlo brothers. They grew up in, Ronnie Shields and all that.
Hey, as far as I know, Lara got ambitions of beating up middleweight. That's what I'm looking at. You got ambitions of going up there and exposing middleweight. So go up there and fucking do it instead of fighting Yuri Foreman.
Well,
that's all I'm saying.
Yo,
I can understand that.
Huge shout out to Ring IQ, best boxing group on Facebook right now. Fuck boxing with the brothers, punk ass, pussy ass, race baiting group. Fuck boxing with the brothers.
Yeah, that group. I was in that group for like fucking 10 minutes, man. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's where I pulled that motherfucker out, exposed his ass, and he came out on my post to try to say. Ironically enough, he came out of the woodwork once I mentioned that post specifically, is when he popped out of a fucking magic hat like a goddamn bunny. And
well, he's creating aliases just to frequent the group, so we must be doing something right, because he fucking refuses to leave, even when you kick him out.
Obviously, shout out to Meathead, Wante, Guy, happy birthday, Guy. Ryan.
Happy birthday, mate.
All the admins at Ring IQ, not even just the admins, all the members, you guys make the group what it is, really. And
listen, shout out in Curacao, shout out to little Tyreek Brown, Yo, he doing real good in the amateurs. I don't know if y'all be paying attention.
I checked it.
Yo, listen, Tyreek. Now, Reek draw blood. Reek draw blood. Like, he be in here, like, talking boxing all day, but Reek really put in that work. That's my young boy. Like, yo, shout out to Reek.
Yeah, man. He's
Reek, Tyreek fanboying over Danny Garcia right now, man. He been fanboying real hard since the Stern.
I think he's just against Stern, man.
I think he really liked Danny, man. And that's okay. That's okay.
Hey, you guys want to shout out any
too,
social medias you guys want to let out before we get out of here?
Alright, well, I'm going to just shout out Bo Bland, Truth and Facts Boxing. Shout out to Ring IQ. Shout out to all the admins. Shout out to Lara and Yuri Foreman.
Trolling. You trolling him.
Oh, shit. Yeah, shout out to the rabbi, man.
Yo, man, I got a couple shout outs today, man. Shout out to a beatboxing, man. Shout out to my man, Amir Richie. Shout out to Elliot, Buffalo Soldier Seymour, man. Y'all don't know, man. Like, he pro, man. Like he done sparred with the best of them, fought like the best of them, and like he had gave me like some pointers on my son. I gave them to my son, man, and my son wanted to put in some serious work with a couple of his pointers, like ironically. So shout out to him too for that, man. Boxing about passing knowledge, right?
Hell yeah, man. He's definitely putting in some work. I saw some of that video, man. He's looking sharp, man.
Man, he's getting better.
Hey, man.
Long road.
Hey, man. Don't like sabotage his career later on, man. Don't be
No, Nah,
falling in love.
come
Man.
on, man.
Yeah, I'm fucking with you, man. I'm just saying, don't just don't run into just don't run into Keith Thurman along the way, man, because he might fuck y'all relationship.
Dog, if he gonna outbox you, I'm telling you, my son outbox people. You know, he can box.
Yeah, man. That's what I told you. I told you he's like a little damn, what the fuck is it? Terrence Crawford, man. That's what I said, man. He reminds me of.
Yeah, but a little bit. He does have a little bit. He like to fight sometimes.
Yeah. All right, G.Alé Dampier on Facebook. That's where you can find me at Georgie Dampier on Twitter, G.Alé6 on Instagram, Georgie Dampier on YouTube. So that's gonna wrap things up for us. We're out of here. Until next time, peace.
Peace. Deuces.